carrying the weight of a legendary name isn't easy. For Marvin Harrison Jr., it means more than inheriting expectations. It means rewriting them. Born into football royalty, the son of an NFL Hall of Famer, Marvin Jr. has carved out his path with breathtaking performances on the field. But what truly sets him apart is his vision for life beyond the game. Can Marvin Harrison Jr. transform the game while building a legacy that transcends touchdowns? Or will the weight of expectation prove too great? This is the story of a generational talent determined to redefine what greatness truly means. For Marvin Harrison Jr., greatness was never just an accident. It was part of his DNA, born into a football dynasty. He grew up watching his father, Marvin Harrison Jr., dominate the National Football League as a wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. But it wasn't just the accolades or the Hall of Fame speeches that shaped the younger Harrison. It was the values his father instilled: discipline, humility, and an unrelenting commitment to excellence. Do things the right way, his father would often remind him. Those words weren't just advice. They became the foundation of Marvin Jr.'s approach to life. The influence of his mother was equally profound. A tireless worker who woke up at 4:30 every morning, she became a living example of perseverance. Marvin Jr. often reflects on her dedication, noting how it shaped his own work ethic. "She's my biggest inspiration," he once said. "Seeing her work so hard made me want to push myself even harder." In many ways, his parents provided the perfect balance: his father's football genius and his mother's relentless drive. But Marvin Jr. didn't always see football as his destiny. As a young boy in Philadelphia, his first love was basketball. He dreamed of playing in the National Basketball Association, spending hours on the court, perfecting his shot. It wasn't until high school that football began to take center stage. Coaches and teammates quickly noticed his natural talent, his ability to run crisp routes, make impossible catches, and think like a quarterback on the field. "Football just felt natural," he said. "It was like the game chose me, not the other way around." Despite the expectations that came with his famous last name, Marvin Jr. was determined to chart his own path. At St. Joseph's Prep in Philadelphia, he wasn't handed opportunities because of his father's legacy. Instead, he earned them through sweat and sacrifice. His high school coach recalled his early struggles adjusting to a new environment, both on and off the field. But those challenges only fueled his resolve. He wanted to prove he belonged, not because of his name, but because of his work ethic, the coach said. Marvin Jr.'s time at St. Joseph's became a crucible for his development, both as an athlete and a leader. Paired with his quarterback Kyle McCord, the duo became a force to be reckoned with, leading their team to 3 consecutive state championships. Yet, even in the midst of success, Marvin Jr. stayed grounded. Early morning practices, sneaking onto fields during the pandemic to train, and putting in extra hours after games became his routine. "Greatness isn't given," he often said. "It's earned every single day." When it came time to choose a college, Marvin Jr. faced immense pressure to attend a program that could maximize his potential. Offers poured in from powerhouse schools like Louisiana State University, Michigan, and Penn State. But Ohio State stood out. The Buckeyes weren't just offering him a spot on the team. They were offering a culture of excellence and a chance to compete against the best. "I wanted to be in a room full of 5 stars, Marvin Jr. explained. "Iron sharpens iron." At Ohio State, he found a mentor in Brian Hartline, a coach who saw potential beyond the obvious. Hartline's guidance extended beyond football. He taught Marvin Jr. how to approach the game mentally, how to handle adversity, and how to use his platform for something greater. "He helped me see the bigger picture," Marvin Jr. said. It was at Ohio State that Marvin Jr. began to refine not only his skills, but also his sense of purpose. By the time he declared for the National Football League draft, Marvin Jr. was no longer just the son of a legend. He had become a legend in his own right, carving out a legacy built on his terms. Yet, even as his name was called as the 4th overall pick in the 2024 National Football League draft, his focus wasn't solely on football. For Marvin Jr., the journey was never just about the game. It was about honoring the lessons of his past while building something meaningful for the future. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s decision to join Ohio State wasn't just about playing football. It was about immersing himself in a culture that demanded greatness. From the moment he set foot on campus, it was clear he was stepping into a program with a storied history of elite wide receivers. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jackson Smith-Njigba had set the standard, and Marvin Jr. wasn't just expected to meet it, he was expected to redefine it. Even in a receiver room packed with talent, Marvin Jr. stood out. Coaches immediately noticed his precision in route running, his physicality at the line of scrimmage, and his unparalleled ability to make contested catches. But it wasn't just his physical gifts that separated him, it was his approach. Unlike many young athletes, Marvin Jr. trained as if every day was a game day. He practiced like he was fighting for his life, one of his coaches recalled. That kind of intensity is rare, even among great players. His freshman year was a test of patience and humility. Stuck behind future first-round picks, Marvin Jr. saw limited action during the regular season. For many players, this could have been disheartening, but Marvin Jr. took it as an opportunity to learn. He watched closely as Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson operated, taking mental notes on how to prepare, how to adjust to defenses, and how to carry oneself as a professional. "They were my mentors," Marvin Jr. said. "I was like a sponge, soaking up everything I could." When his moment finally came in the Rose Bowl, Marvin Jr. was ready. With Olave and Wilson sitting out to prepare for the draft, he stepped into the spotlight and delivered a performance for the ages. 3 touchdowns, 71 yards, and countless jaw-dropping plays later, Marvin Jr. had announced himself to the college football world. "That game changed everything for me," he said. "It showed me that I could compete at the highest level." Heading into his sophomore season, the expectations were sky high. Named to Bruce Feldman's prestigious freak list as the second-ranked athlete, Marvin Jr. embraced the pressure. His work ethic became the stuff of legend. Whether it was spending extra hours catching passes on the jugs machine or breaking down film until late at night, he was relentless in his pursuit of perfection. "I wanted to be uncommon among the uncommon," he explained. "If I wasn't working harder than everyone else, I wasn't doing enough." The season began with a bang. Against Arkansas State, Marvin Jr. recorded 7 catches for 184 yards and 3 touchdowns, a career-best performance that showcased his ability to dominate a game single-handedly. He followed it up with a string of standout performances, including 3 touchdown games against Michigan State and Indiana. By midseason, he had solidified his place as the best wide receiver in college football. But it wasn't just his stats that turned heads. Marvin Jr. brought a unique blend of finesse and physicality to the game. His ability to win one-on-one matchups at the line of scrimmage was unmatched. Defensive backs often found themselves overpowered by his strength or outsmarted by his precision. "He made everything look effortless," one analyst said. "It was like watching a masterclass in how to play the position." What truly set Marvin Jr. apart, however, was his leadership. As injuries plagued the team, he stepped up as a vocal presence in the locker room. Younger players looked to him for guidance, not just because of his talent, but because of his character. "He's the guy who's first in and last out," one teammate said. When you see that kind of commitment, it's contagious. The Michigan game was a defining moment in his sophomore year. Despite a heartbreaking loss, Marvin Jr. delivered a standout performance, catching 7 passes for 120 yards and a touchdown. He left everything on the field, and even in defeat, his leadership shone through. "Sometimes the biggest victories aren't in the scoreboard," he said after the game. "They're in how you carry yourself when things don't go your way." As the season drew to a close, Marvin Jr. led Ohio State to the college football playoff, where they faced top-ranked Georgia. Once again, he rose to the occasion, recording over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns before being knocked out of the game due to a controversial hit. His absence was felt immediately, and Ohio State's title hopes faded without him on the field. "That loss hurt," he admitted, "but it also fueled me. I knew I had to come back stronger." His junior season was nothing short of spectacular. Marvin Jr. became the first wide receiver in Ohio State history to record back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He also broke numerous school and conference records, earning unanimous All-American honors. Yet, through it all, he remained humble. "The stats are nice, but they're not why I play," he said. "I play to honor my family, my teammates, and everyone who supported me." Off the field, Marvin Jr.'s impact was just as significant. He became a role model for young athletes, often speaking at community events about the importance of hard work and integrity. "Your talent will get you noticed, but your character will keep you there," he would often say. It was clear that Marvin Jr. wasn't just building a career, he was building a legacy. As the 2024 NFL Draft approached, Marvin Jr. found himself in a unique position. He wasn't just a player, he was a symbol of what it means to excel with dignity. His decision to forgo the traditional pre-draft process and focus on his health raised eyebrows, but also underscored his commitment to doing things his way. "I've always believed in betting on myself," he said, "and I'm not going to stop now." Selected 4th overall by the Arizona Cardinals, Marvin Jr. stepped into the next chapter of his journey. But for him, the draft was never the end goal. "This isn't the finish line," he told reporters. "It's just the beginning. I want to leave an impact that lasts long after I'm done playing." As he embarks on his NFL career, one thing is certain: Marvin Harrison Jr. is more than an athlete. He's a testament to what's possible when talent meets purpose, and his story is far from over. Marvin Harrison Jr. entered the NFL with immense expectations. As the 4th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, he wasn't just viewed as a highly talented player. He was seen as the centerpiece of a franchise's future. Fans and analysts alike heralded him as a once-in-a-generation wide receiver, with some even suggesting he could eclipse the legacy of his father. But with this level of hype came unparalleled pressure. From the moment he donned the Arizona Cardinals jersey, comparisons to Marvin Harrison Jr. were unavoidable. The elder Harrison's Hall of Fame career loomed large, with over 14,000 receiving yards and 128 touchdowns to his name. But Marvin Jr. didn't shy away from the shadow of his father. Instead, he embraced it. "It's an honor to follow in his footsteps," he said, "but I'm here to carve out my own path." His first NFL training camp was a wake-up call. The speed and physicality of the professional game were unlike anything he had faced in college. Defensive backs were faster, smarter, and more relentless. "In the NFL, every snap is a chess match," Marvin Jr. admitted. "You can't rely on just talent, you have to outthink your opponent." Early in the season, he faced criticism after a lackluster debut against the Buffalo Bills. With just one catch for 4 yards and a dropped pass, some fans began to question whether the hype surrounding him was justified. Others pointed to his speed, speculating that he had been a product of Ohio State's elite system rather than an exceptional individual talent. It was a humbling experience for Marvin Jr., but one he took in stride. "It's not about how you start," he said. "It's about how you respond." And respond he did. In Week 2, Marvin Jr. silenced his doubters with a breakout performance against the Los Angeles Rams, recording 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. His precision route running, combined with his ability to make contested catches, left fans and analysts in awe. It was a reminder of why he was considered one of the most polished wide receiver prospects in recent history. "I knew I had it in me," Marvin Jr. said. "I just needed to settle in and play my game." However, the challenges went beyond the field. Marvin Jr. faced scrutiny for his business decisions, particularly his refusal to sign traditional NFL licensing agreements. By opting out, he sent a clear message. He wasn't willing to sacrifice long-term gains for short-term convenience. Critics questioned his motives, but Marvin Jr. stood firm. "I want to be in control of my name and my brand," he explained. "This isn't just about football, it's about legacy." This stance earned him admiration from some and resentment from others. The controversy even escalated into a legal battle with Fanatics, a major sports merchandise company. For Marvin Jr., the decision to fight for better terms wasn't just about money, it was about setting a precedent for future athletes. "I want young players to know they have options," he he said. You don't have to settle. You can demand what you're worth. The pressure of living up to his draft position, his father's legacy, and his own high standards could have been overwhelming. Yet Marvin Jr. approached every challenge with the same work ethic and determination that had defined his college career. He spent hours studying film, perfecting his craft, and building chemistry with quarterback Kyler Murray. The connection between a quarterback and a receiver doesn't happen overnight, he explained. It takes trust, repetition, and a lot of hard work. As the season progressed, Marvin Jr.'s impact became undeniable. He emerged as a reliable target in clutch situations, often drawing double coverage from opposing defenses. Despite the extra attention, he found ways to contribute, whether through drawing penalties, creating space for his teammates, or making highlight reel catches. I don't care about the stats, he said. As long as I'm helping my team win, I'm doing my job. But it wasn't just his on-field performance that made headlines. Marvin Jr. quickly became a leader in the locker room, earning the respect of veterans and rookies alike. His humility and willingness to learn resonated with his teammates. He doesn't act like a superstar, one player said. He just works hard and lifts everyone around him. Off the field, Marvin Jr. began to find his voice as a role model. He visited schools and youth programs, speaking about the importance of education, resilience, and self-worth. Football is a blessing, he told one group of kids, but who you are as a person matters more than any touchdown. As the regular season drew to a close, Marvin Jr. reflected on the ups and downs of his rookie year. I've learned so much about the game, about myself, and about what it takes to succeed at this level, he said. The challenges have only made me stronger. Though the Cardinals' playoff hopes were slim, Marvin Jr.'s individual performance was nothing short of remarkable. He finished his rookie season with over 1,000 receiving yards, making him the first rookie in franchise history to reach that milestone. But for Marvin Jr., the journey was just beginning. This is only the start, he said. I want to be remembered not just for what I did on the field, but for how I used my platform to make a difference. Marvin Jr.'s early career serves as a testament to his resilience, focus, and vision. The challenges he faced, whether from critics, defenders, or the business world, only solidified his determination to succeed on his own terms. As he looks ahead, one thing is clear: Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't just playing for today. He's building a legacy that will endure for generations. Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't just play football. He uses the game as a platform to amplify his broader aspirations. Football is what I do, but it's not all of who I am. He once said a statement that has come to define his approach both on and off the field. For Marvin Jr., football is only the beginning, a stage from which he can inspire, lead, and create change. One of his earliest defining moves came when he chose not to sign the NFL Players Association's traditional licensing agreement. By rejecting this common practice, Marvin Jr. retained control over his name, image, and likeness, setting himself apart from nearly every other rookie. While this decision brought criticism, it also established him as a trailblazer, unafraid to challenge the status quo. Athletes deserve to have control over their brand, he explained. This is about legacy, not just today. Marvin Jr.'s business decision sparked a conversation that extended far beyond the NFL. Younger athletes saw his stance as empowering a roadmap for those who want to maintain autonomy in an industry that often prioritizes profit over individuals. His boldness even inspired debates about player rights and the need for more equitable contracts. Why follow a path that doesn't value your worth? Marvin Jr. Questioned, making it clear that he intends to reshape the athlete-business dynamic. Beyond business, Marvin Jr. has committed to using his influence for community impact. From his early days at Ohio State, he volunteered at youth centers, sharing his story and encouraging kids to dream big despite obstacles. You don't choose your starting point in life, but you do choose how hard you fight to move forward, he told one group of students. These moments weren't just motivational, they were deeply personal. As Marvin Jr. saw himself in the kids he addressed, his emphasis on mental health has also been groundbreaking. As someone who has faced immense pressure throughout his career, Marvin Jr. has spoken candidly about the importance of seeking help and addressing stress. "There's strength in vulnerability," he said during an interview. "Admitting you need help doesn't make you weak, it makes you human." By normalizing these conversations, he's helping to change the culture around mental health in sports. Marvin Jr. recently announced plans for a foundation focused on mentoring underprivileged youth. This initiative aims to provide resources for education, sports programs, and career development, creating opportunities for those who might otherwise be overlooked. "It's about more than giving back, it's about building futures," Marvin Jr. said. His foundation reflects his belief in preparation, hard work, and the power of community. His unique approach to branding also sets him apart. Marvin Jr. deliberately aligns himself with partnerships and endorsements that resonate with his values, whether it's promoting financial literacy or supporting causes he believes in. Every decision reflects his commitment to authenticity. His growing social media presence offers fans a glimpse into his world family moments, motivational messages, and an unwavering dedication to excellence. Marvin Jr.'s vision transcends touchdowns and trophies. He's determined to redefine what it means to be an athlete in today's world, blending sports with purpose. "We're more than just players," he said. "We're leaders, innovators, and change makers." As his journey unfolds, one thing remains clear. Marvin Harrison Jr. is shaping a legacy that will be remembered for far more than football. Before we wrap up, if Marvin Harrison Jr.'s story inspires you as much as it inspires us, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible journeys of athletes who transcend the game. Stories like Marvin's remind us that greatness isn't just about touchdowns. It's about heart, vision, and the courage to make a lasting impact. Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't just chasing records or Super Bowl rings, he's chasing purpose. His journey, from a young boy emulating his father to a man carving out his own legacy, is a testament to resilience, humility, and ambition. Every route he runs, every catch he makes, is part of a bigger picture. For Marvin Jr., football is just the beginning. His true goal is to inspire others, to show that no matter where you start or how high the expectations, you can define your own path and leave a mark on the world. As fans, we often get lost in the highlights and stats. But Marvin's story reminds us that the greatest legacies are built on more than just accolades. They're built on how you uplift others, how you face challenges, and how you carry yourself when the spotlight dims. Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't just playing for today, he's laying the foundation for a future that will inspire generations to come. What do you think Marvin Harrison Jr.'s legacy will look like? Let us know in the comments, and join the conversation about what it truly means to make an impact beyond the game.